So hello everyone, today we are going to start our for loop. So in this lecture, we are going to know for loop definition, its flowchart, its syntax with some examples. And we will do some practice questions also in this lecture. So this lecture is very important for your Python series because for loop and while loop, these two topics are very important. This make your codes little smaller, and when you are doing in other method, they make that code little complex. But using your for loop and while loop, you can solve your queries easily. So in this lecture, we are going to do about for loop. We are going to know about the for loop. So let's begin the lecture. So this is our first slide. Now come to the next slide. Right. So what is for loop? So for loop represents a block of code for each item in a sequence like list, tuple, strings, and range, etc. So what is list? What is loop? What is for loop? So it is basically block of code which execute each items in a sequence. It's called for loop. So so let's start your for loop over here. So what is for loop? I have already explained you what is for loop. Over here I will explain you its syntax. So first of all, here is your for. So what is for? So for is just a keyword to start the loop. And what is variable? Variable holds the current value from the sequence during each iteration. So what is variable? It only holds the current value from the sequence. Like over here, in the place of variable, you can use your I or J or whatever you want. So basically, if you are using I, so in Python or for loop, I is just a variable. It stores the current value during each iteration of the loop. For example, for I in range 5, print I. How it work? So we have decided our range 5. So how it will work? So it first produce 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. It will not print 5 because in Python we know that the index number or something start from 0. So if you are taking range 5, that means you only write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5. Okay, so remember this one. Now come to the next part. Here are some range functions like range stop, range start, range start, stop, and steps. So what is this? Range start, stop, and steps. So now see the example of first one. Over here, you are just writing range is 5. Means you are saying that its range is only 5. But in the second one, you are saying it's how it start and when it will going to stop. So over here you are saying that 1 and 6. That means it will start from 1 and it will stop on 5, not on 6. So remember this. And in range over here 2, 11 and 2. What it mean? So it means that it start from 2, it stop at 11. And between this, it will follow the one step like first it will print 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10 as it is, not 11. So remember this one. Now come to the next part. Looping through the sequence. Over here, how to use loop through the sequence. So over here you are watching that you have created one variable name and in that you have stored one list. And if you want to print that list, so usually you can easily write this syntax, which I have already told you. You can use over here I, N, whatever you want. So for N in numbers and print N. That means it will print everything in sequence, like first index part, then second index part, then third index part. Now in this question, for ch in Python, print ch. That means how many characters are there in Python. So print that. So over here we are seeing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 characters are present in this loop. So it will print 6. Now come to the next part. Now see this nested for loop. What is nested for loop? Loop inside another loop. It means one loop inside another loop. If first loop will not applicable, then it come to the loop inside that loop. Okay. So over here, this is the example. Like for I in range 3, for j in range 2, then print ij. That means if first one is correct, like if I is in range 3, then come to this nested part for j in range 2, then print this both. If first one will applicable, then only it will come to the second part. Otherwise, this one get fail and it will go to the next part. So if the first one is correct, then only second one will run. So remember this one. It is called nested loop. Here is some control statements in loop. How to control your loop. So see, break, exit. What break do? Break, exit your loop at that time only. Exit loop directly. What continue do? It skip only that current iteration. If you want to skip one, then continue one you can write. And what is pass? So basically pass is one placeholder we use in our loop control statement. Now come to the next part. Common programs. Here are some questions which may ask in your exams, like sum of first and numbers. So print the sum of first and numbers, then print the factorial of your question. Okay, then multiplication of table. In question in examination, they may give one table and you have to multiply everything in that table. Then it may ask prime number question also. Then Fibonacci series. It is very important question because in every exams it may ask. So these all questions we are going to do in our next lecture, because in this lecture we are just going to understand our for loop basic concepts. So in next lecture I will upload it after this lecture only. So in that lecture we will do this all programs. So this question is also very important, star pattern. This also asked many times in examination and examiner and in viva and in your interview purpose. It is very important question. So we will do this all question in our next part video. Now here are some practice questions. We will do this all also in the next part. Here are some viva questions. Uh, what is for loop? I have already explained you. Difference between for loop and while loop. What is range? What is break and continue? Can for loop iterate over strings? What is nested loop? Time complexity of simple for loop. What is iterable? Can step be negative? Give real uses. These all are Viva questions which your examiner may ask to you when you come to your universities. Then only, and it is also you have to just learn this one, because in your interview also these all questions are only going to be asked. So now come to the next part, advanced syntax. So these all are some advanced syntax, like for, then here write your index number, then value in enumerate list. So what is the meaning of this enumerate, jeep and dict dot items? So now understand this one. So what your this enumerate and jeep and your dict items do? So what enumerate do? So enumerate returns the index and value of each item. It return the value and index number of each items. Like if there is some list in that you have, let's suppose you have example like in that list A, B, C, D. So it will return that value also and its index also. It will say you what is the index number of that value, and it will also return that value also. What zip do? So over here zip combine two or more iterables into a pair. It will combine two or more iterables, two or more lists in one pair. Then what is dict dot items do? it returns all key value pair of a dictionary. So it will return you all the keys and value pair of your dictionary. If you have created any dictionary, and if you are doing this code like for key value in tick dot items. So what it will return? It return all key value pair of a dictionary. So I hope you understand this one also. Now come to the next part. Here is the summary of your for loop. Like used to fixed iteration, we work with iterables, supports nesting, use of break, continue and pass, and master range. This is the summary of your this topic for loop. In next lecture, we are going to do questions on for loop, and after that, we will do our while loop part because that was also very important part. You can use both. If you want to use for loop, you can use for loop. If you want to use while loop, you can use while loop also. So I hope this video give you some knowledge about Python. So we will meet in next lecture. So bye.